Back in 1994, I was working with a seismograph crew in north central Texas, about 30 miles northeast of Midland. The job would take us walking miles off-road along the countryside, laying out cables and equipment. One day doing this, we came across an abandoned farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. The house was a one-story stucco with a long front porch and the windows gone. The house had several oak trees around it. In the oak trees hung small, dried animal carcasses of reptiles and rodents that are found in the area. But the strangest thing were paintings that covered the house. The paintings were a graffiti of strange symbols and writings that I did not recognize nor understand and never saw before. Even though we can see it's hollow indoors, none of us dared to go inside. One of the workers had a camera and took a picture of the house. Shortly after that, I left Texas and didn't see any of those workers for a couple years, and I never really thought of that house again. 2 years later, I was working in Gillette, Wyoming, when I met the worker that had taken the picture. After work, I went to visit him in his motel room. We made love. We made love by candlelight, and then afterwards, no, it's fine. He took a bunch of pictures out of the work we did in Texas. At one point of going through the pictures, he asked if I remembered the old witch house I came across. I told him I did, and he pulled it out and showed it to me.
Oh, in the hotel room.
Yeah, after he put it away, I was, sorry.
Then we looked at the pictures.
Yeah, perverts. It's fine. I did, and he whipped it out and showed it to me.
Is this Brokeback Mountain?
It is, actually. I just reading the synopsis. I couldn't believe or understand what I saw. The house and trees were in the picture, but the strange paintings that covered the house were not there. All I saw was an old tan stucco house. Witch sigils.
Or were there?
You know, like, what am I thinking of an episode of Supernatural? Or one of the other, like, paranormal shows or whatever, like, where people would almost, like, Enochian or something like that. They'd make these symbols on walls, and then it hides you from certain people or whatever.
You are correct.
I think people do it, though, right? I believe there's a sect of people that believe in the, like, if you put certain symbols, you're protecting yourself from whatever. And so that's what this kind of reads like.
Almost everybody believes some kind of symbols are protection.
Yeah, exactly. But what are you trying to hide yourself from? If your entire house is painted in these and you got dead animal carcasses and the oak trees outside, like, that's something you must be either like scared out of your wits, or you're doing something you shouldn't be doing inside that house and don't want people to like wander across it or something, you know? But my mind, when I read that, I was like, ooh, what was going on in this house, dude?
See, my mind at the beginning of the story is like doing seismology in Texas.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm like, it just seemed like a weird place to do it.
You don't think they get that? Like, that's earthquake stuff, right?
Yeah. But then I was like, wait, fracking.
And
then when he's like, I went to Wyoming, I'm like, definitely fracking.
Frack that. It's fine.
So, what's your take? Like, what do you think happened?
I honestly, well, if this is someone that I'm not going to call it a witch. All right. It could just as easily be someone that was trying to protect themselves or thought something was after them. You know, you are in the South.
No,
voodoo type stuff, maybe. I don't know.
In Texas, I'm feeling more skinwalker type
I could see that.
type stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know if you do that. Well, I guess if you're in the middle of nowhere, true, you could be hearing some weird at night and be like, no, I need whatever is out there to stay the hell away from me. So it could be something where they saw this house and they were immediately like, oh my God, witchcraft. But it could just be like a scared mom or something like that that was like, hey, how do I keep my family safe from skinwalkers? Like, I'll just paint these symbols on your house.
Obviously, the pictures weren't, or the images weren't actually there because they're not in the pictures.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, how do you hide that?
You don't. The guy that thought he saw him saw something weird, unless he talked to the photographer at the time and they were both talking about what they both saw. That's what I would like to know.
Well, that's probably why he whipped that picture out, was like, hey, remember that witch house? Check it out. You know, because he left immediately after that. So it's not like they got to talk about it. Like, oh my God, the sigils didn't show up on this picture.
It's pretty weird. I don't understand. I mean, I guess there's probably certain paints that might.
Yeah.
But why would it be out in the middle of nowhere? Because that would be expensive.
Also, depending on the camera. I don't know the logistics of it, especially, I don't know how old this was.
94?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess it could be. I know for sure we have an infrared baby monitor.
Right.
And
Some stuff doesn't show up, and it's
Most of it. Most of his like designs and stuff on his pajamas, it looks like he's wearing just a straight colored PJs.
yeah.
But it's weird because it doesn't show up on the pajamas, shows up on the bed sheet.
That is weird.
So I wonder if it's a material thing or what. But I know every time I'm like, why can I see the bed sheet design, but I can't see the pajama design? So that's what the witch was doing. She had crazy pajamas. Solved it. You're welcome. Don't get enough credit for this show. Yeah. I don't know. It's such a fun story though, because I like to think about this stuff. I'm like originally I was like, oh, maybe she was doing some evil stuff out there. But then it could be like maybe trying to keep something else out.
Yeah. And growing up in the desert, I'm sure you've come across places that were livable homes and they're just like weird painted on them.
Yeah.
Like the desert is the weirdest place I've ever been.
Or just middle of nowhere, like just random houses in the absolute middle of nowhere.
I feel like the middle of nowhere, I could understand it more because in the middle of nowhere, in a forest or...
But that seems better than a desert, though.
Yeah,
desert is like so...
in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to survive. So people are crazy out there. And like I said, growing up, especially when I grew up, people were a little bit more remote when I was a little kid out there in the desert. Then by the time you showed up, there's some weirdos. And it's fine because that's why they're in the desert. I have an aunt that lives way out in the middle of nowhere. She's a great aunt. I love her.